Peace, family. We're going through some real changes at our own hands and at the hands of power. Moving into this death culture, purge mentality where we have people who practice numbing their reality through food, through drugs. Some people even do it through overthinking. But they're allowing it to be at our own hands. We have to be smarter. We are looking at like Boston, Cali, Chicago. We are 13% of the population. When we're in particular cities, we are more concentrated population. And I've said this before, that we are always being watched. We are always being measured to what is the length of what we will do to each other and how we'll do it. What's the extent? What's the body toll? We are, and it's not that we can't do nothing. It's the fact that our mental prowess, our mental malice, our mental mantle is fucked up. And we continue to let it be fucked up. We don't fight against it. We don't say, let's do something different. We use terms like, I gotta eat. Instead of understanding how to collectively make that happen with more minds, more hands. They got us on moving like savages, beasts, animals against ourselves. And it's not to say that has to be the way. But we perceive power and violence towards each other. We never have showed violence against those who have openly butchered us, who have openly killed our children, who have openly caused us damage. And I'm not saying this has always been our practice. I spoke about our practice used to be, we did take care of each other. We did make sure that, the children were safe. We have people walking around so smart that they stupid. And this is what is in these streets. When that brother got killed in Cali, for his jewelry. It's just jewelry, yo. And I know, okay, I'm saying that, but I'm also coming from the perspective of we as a people have been on this planet for hundreds of thousands of years, and when we didn't kill each other, we have always adorned precious metals, precious stones. We've always made beautiful things, and we didn't wait to kill each other for those things. And now we got this European that's come into play, and he's made this jewelry, jewels, diamonds that are in abundance. Prices are created, and we're killing ourselves for short-term goals, not even long-term, just short-term. And not to say to kill somebody is the thing to do, and then there are innocent people. The low-hanging fruit becomes the most easiest to rob, the most easiest to steal from, the most easiest to commit crimes on. I heard at one time gangsters who was like, we protect the women and the children. You cannot commit any crimes in our community against women and children. They wasn't having it. And I want to make you understand, crime is created. It's created. You've been created to create crime. You've been created to create a fear that does not touch those who are killing you. Brothers can't sit down and can't sit down and create a think tank and say, this is our problem, this is how we need to solve it. You're bred, you're groomed to move at a certain propensity, and it's against yourself. It's for you to willingly move against yourself. To me, I can't. How many bodies can you stick in the ground? How many? And then, what you don't even understand is that, when you're dead, this system digs you up. This system digs you up. This system, before they put you in the ground, they're taking your organs. There's a market, overlaying a market, overlaying another market. Is part of this system? Is there a part of this system that wants you to kill yourself? Yes. Is there a part of this system that benefits and your death, yes. Systems that benefit, yes. It's like our ignorance and and what we do, from politics to health to education to street law to family, like they just build on top of that to keep it alive, keep it going, keep it moving, keep it in play. We got to snap out of it. And I would say, there's some people who be like, yeah, these, let them kill each other, let them, rid the earth of themselves. Maybe I'm a fool. Maybe, I'm not smart enough to be speaking to you. Maybe I'm not. All right, Mama. Be safe. Yeah, maybe I'm not smart enough. Maybe I don't have what it takes to be here. Sometimes I do really believe that, I'm trying to pass on some knowledge, some information, some know-how, some gumshoe, some get this shit working. For somebody to hear this and be like, yo, I gotta do something different. And part of doing something different means that you're gonna have to go through the pain, because you're going through pain on either side of the fence. This is, the pain of drugs, the pain of crime, the pain of everything else that's questionable in one's life. It's pain that you're willingly participating and willingly doing, but you're not willing to go through the pain of getting your life right, getting shit right, fighting shit that is trying to kill you, because you don't want to go through the pain. I tell people this all the time. On both sides of the fence, you're going to experience pain. When people look at people and they're living what they call a good life, those same people who live good lives have to go through discomfort. We're all, as a people, we're all, we experience a lot of the same things. But, your barometer has been put, and the battery been put in your back that, oh, this is better, this person is better, this is, they're able to have this. Think about things, man. Things are built with what? Man-made things, man-made materials, and then things that come from the very planet itself. When you think about what things are, a man has to make them. And we're driving ourselves crazy over man-made things. And the way they've constructed it is like, oh, you want to build something, you need a permit, you need this, you need that. But you don't use your power. You give your power. You don't use your power. You think, oh, that's going to take too long, or I'm not going to get what I want, or you got to be willing to be consistent. You got to be willing to show up. You got to be willing to put in the work. You got to be willing to know that there are people who are willing to foil and throw you off. You got to be willing to stand your ground. You got to be willing to break the mindsets of people who you once ran with, who is looking at you going, what you doing? And you got to be willing to stand 10 toes and be like, yo, the shit we was doing wasn't correct. Being in jail for a good part of your life, killing your people, robbing your community, I'm going to say this. McDonald's had a formula and knew when children came to its store and got a Happy Meal, they knew they would grow up to be adults. And they knew they would have kids. And they knew a cycle would be created where they would make millions of dollars. So when we talk about cycles and we talk about, they knew all of you were once children. They know that. They know that you will grow up to have more children. They know that. They know that in your process of what you do, you will bring your children into a cycle that they are going to make millions from the bonds, from the imprisonment, from the shit that they put out on the street. They're making money hand over fist, and their overhead is not killing them. And the people who are working for them, they ain't got to pay. From birth to death, they are creating systems of finance off of your misery. And then they watch you willingly portray that misery. Willingly, they watch grown men who willingly bring children right into the same madness. Like nothing is in the consciousness of the man to be like, yo, I shouldn't be doing this. It's not the way to do it. When I was homeless, I chose not to get into the street game. I chose to I had a job, and I used to live behind my job in my car. I chose, if you know what, if I'm going to be hungry, I'm going to endure this hunger because I'm not going to be here forever. I know that a lot of people look at themselves and be like, yo, I'm not smart enough. I don't have the skills. We have to start to create the things we need. crime is not a thing that we need. It is not a thing that you have to do. It's not even part of your existence. It's choices. You make choices. I never, decided to be part of the street gang. I just I never seen the purpose. If I had to eat, if I had to get something, if I, even now, I mean, I'm not trying to live. I live, I try to do minimum. I'm not trying to be glossy, greased up, a pig to slaughter. When you slaughter a pig, you fatten them up. That's what y'all like. Y'all like pigs. They fatten you up. They got you buying a shit. They got you moving in their ideas. They fatten you up and slaughter you. Got you in jail. Got fuckers fucking each other. Still How you gonna be in jail and still gonna be able to get drugs? Jail should be like the place where everything just ceased. But you know what? They show you. They be telling you, yo, let me show you how stupid you are. Let me show you how ignorant you are. Because I'm going to get paid when you outside the wall, inside the wall, in the ground, when you have babies. I'm going to make money off of you. I'm going to keep control of you on every level. You are the only ones who can reshape what it is that we live in. Collectively, you have to be willing to reshape. Because, see, collectively, you do the gang thing. Collectively, you have the mentality to say, we're gonna commit crimes. Even though we might commit crimes separately, when we commit crimes, we collectively affect the community. When rapes are happening, when molestation is happening, people are not like, oh, I'm part of a gang when I do this. But collectively, one by one, you're doing it, but collectively, you're affecting the community. The mind is where the war happens. And when people and systems and races are able to collectively sit down, think on how to present the control that they want, this is part of what they do. They looking at generations. They looking at zip codes. Oh, in this zip code, this is what happens. In this zip code, brothers go to a nice place. They're like, oh wow, this is nice. This is so nice. I wish my place could be like this. I wish brothers strive when they're rappers or meet some success of money, then they get something nice because you've been made to believe what you already have is trash. What the white man got is what's pretty. That's what's nice. That's what's right. White is right. Understand the war is in the head. If they hit you in the head, they got you. You have to be willing to fight what's inside. You got to be willing to purge what's inside. You got to be willing to say, I'm not taking this route. It does not make you soft to help somebody. But you know what? What the system does is they got pulleys, they got levers, they got safety features built in. So say you try to be nice, this dude looking at you talking about, oh, look at this nigga right here. I got one. And I only say that word, the N word, to make the example of how people think. And so you thinking, I can't be nice because I got too many wolves out here who want to try to test me. I can't be nice. It's not possible. And I'm saying, if you willing to handle the wolves when they come at your doorstep, you can still be nice. You can still help the old lady and the old man. You can still love on the kids. You can still make it right. And you know, like, we think, again, having this outside appearance is key, because then people are not talking about me. People are not, making fun. People have more respect. And if that's the case, how do you really build and collectively move where you start to step on the power structure that's making all this money off of you? You telling me, I know somebody is smart enough to do it. I know plenty of you smart enough to do it. To just, but to keep on soaking up like gravy and biscuits to what the master is giving you, presenting to you. Oh, that's easy. That, he did it. My father did it. My uncle did it. His father did it. My aunt did it. Somebody was in the game. Like the game Monopoly was made with a purpose of showing you part of how this system works. They created this system off of your people, these native people of this land. They created a whole system that they kept on building on top of. This is the result of them building the fuckery off of our people. This is the result. And they're continuing. They don't stop. They can be losing. They could be hands down, dying out, losing. They don't be like, okay, we're going to shut it down now because tomorrow this is about to be a wrap. They will do this to the very last man. Either of them or you. And right now, it's you. Right now, you're going to be the last man. Because you're going to be drugged out, gayed out, sexed out, drugged out, prisoned out. They got so many slots. medicationed out, on psych meds. They using everything, yo. They lay it all down, man. And part of our problem is we want to be them. We don't want to be ourselves. We hate this. We hate our skin. We hate what we're in. We hate the way we live. We hate it. Then recreate it, re-engineer it. I'm not the first, and I probably won't be the last to say it. There are people out there who are trying to offer you better solutions, better ways to think, to go about this. People carry these phones around, these smart ass phones, and they don't ask the right questions to the phone. No, they go into the porn site. They going to order the most shit. And understand, I know the algorithm ain't going to give you the straight answer, especially, I mean, some information is kept private. It's kept, to certain groups of people. But that means what you can't find, you make. You don't create destruction. You create solution. And it has to be more of us doing and thinking that way. It can't be a few of us. It has to be a group of us who have to be willing to face the fear that they're afraid to do something that they have never done. To be afraid is okay. Because if you're afraid but you're willing to still push through, and again, when we see, if we had a collective chain, brother falls, another brother picks him up. Brother say, I'm hungry, yo, I got you, I got something, yo, here. But see, they worry because they were like, yo, if I give you mine, if I'm ever there, will you give me yours? And in your mind, you already planned it out. Nah, they ain't gonna do that. So I'm not participating in that kind of shit. But you gotta break the cycle. You gotta break. The shit is, they are fucking, they've always Biden, 3 strikes. Clinton locked up a bunch of fuckers. And he played a horn, fuckers fell in love, black people fell in love with him. Trump, they done spooked you, hypnotized you on Trump, and made the issue like he's a racist. Every white man that's been in the presidency has been racist. How is that a talking point? How is that even like, you live in a racist country? He's a racist? Racism is swirling around your whole fucking life. And they got you on, he's a racist. I hear some black people say, yo, I had never received so much money from the federal government in all the years that I've been alive, besides when Trump was president. And this showed just how much control that the system has over your processes of thinking, and how they still have control over your processes of thinking. I mean, some of the toughest thugs, gangsters went and got a shot. Went and got pew, stood on the line, went and got a shot. Rethink your day. Re-grasp your power. Take back your lives. Because they're bleeding you. Slowly. Through each generation. You're being slaughtered. With grins on your faces, with jewelry on, with nice clothes on, with driving fat cars, and you being slaughtered. And you looking at the next one like he shouldn't have that. I want it. They don't care how you get it. When back in the day, oh yeah, the car dealers, they let you come buy as many cars as you want. As many motorcycles as you want. As much jewelry as you want. Imagine how much money from generations after generations that we have stacked in drug money, in Hollywood money, in sports money, in scientific money, in invention money. We as a people have stacked trillions of dollars. And look at our condition. Look at our condition of our mind. And that's what people don't do. It's like the condition of their mind, they don't give a fuck. They be like, my mind, as long as I'm looking good, as long as I'm dripping, I don't care about the condition of my mind. And your mind is where it's all happening. That's where you're being attacked. That's where you're being butchered. That's where you're being slaughtered. It's in the mind. Yo, I hope that... I gotta stop saying hope. Yo, I want this to help. I want this to make people think. I want this to make people look at the situation, to be willing to do something within the spectrum of power for themselves, for their children, for their community, for their family, where they stand up against this true beast that is entering into our spheres of understanding. Like I said, I've never seen so many people, black people with dogs, running around, jogging, dogs. And I'm not saying, health is not important. But I'm saying we're taking on this persona of them. Even in the gangster life, you can't get away from what white is. I seen videos where music videos where, like when white kids wear the varsity jackets and, The girls wear the skirts and white life. We imitate it in so many things that we do. And then if a brother comes or sister comes talking wisdom or smart, you're talking white. Many of y'all is just as white as you love the weave. You got men who now do videos on putting mascara on or shit on their eyes and shaving their eyebrows and when they get us with this new generation, no, you help to groom that next generation into what it is that we're looking at. Every generation before you helped in making and grooming the new generation. And then the new generation is looking at the old generation like, they ain't got nothing. They brought you into this shit. What are you talking about? But your minds are so conditioned of eating shit. Somebody put a steak in front of you. You've been eating shit for so long. You be like, what's this? Where my shit at? This is the thing you gotta break. This is the thing you gotta break with each other, with yourself. Collectively, you gotta break it. Nobody's gonna break it for you. Everybody's gonna stand back and watch the mayhem. Everybody's gonna stand back and laugh. And for people who are concerned about people laughing at them, when other races are looking at you, they are laughing. They are laughing. Something has to snap us out of this fuckery. And what snaps us out is our willingness to understand who, what we are dealing with. Again, these drugs don't come on the street by accident. These guns don't come on these streets by accident. Crime is not something that's built into you. Crime is not because you are black or because they called your community ghettos. Because they sure do send everybody to the ghetto. Arabs, Jews, Chinese, you got everybody in the ghetto making money. And we're in a death grip, a death culture. Everybody picking our bones. We gotta change. We have to change. We have to be willing to change. We have to be willing to do different and suffer what we need to go through to come and stand on top of our lives, of the system, of everything. Yo, thank you for your time again. Much appreciated. Yo, have a day of wisdom and success in your thinking, success in your body, success in your whole just your whole frame, your whole statue, your whole existence. And in that failure, if you fall, take that fall with pride and stand back up and learn. Don't take that fall in disgrace. Don't take that fall and beat yourself up. Don't take that fall and think it's bad, because falling is part of building. Alright, people. War